myself, trying to get my mind right, healing long past her, just to catch the limelight. Watch the past fade to black, just like that. You can't get a hold of me, 'cause I've been moving, yeah, I've been going with the flow.
Hello, my name is Rashida Ashley. This video is my Sprint 12 assessment, where I will walk through my latest value proposition canvas and the evidence supporting it. I will be presenting two early stage value propositions that I explored during the sprint. The first is a performance-based service for event planners centered on high-impact, emotionally resonant opera performances. The second is a structured, creative, and emotional support experience for teens and young adults called the Flow Challenge. This canvas represents my current best understanding, not a finished business. Throughout this presentation, I will clearly explain what I'm confident in, what remains uncertain, and how customer discovery shaped my thinking. I'll begin with the event planner venue proposition. My initial assumption was that event planners primarily struggled with finding entertainment quickly, especially for last-minute or high-pressure events. Through discovery, I learned that speed alone was not the core problem. The deeper pain was the pressure to create a memorable emotional moment, something that immediately shifts the energy of the room. In my interview with Michi, who has experience both as an event planner and as a client of live opera performance, he described how planners are often judged on whether an event feels special, not just whether it runs smoothly. Based on this, my confidence level in this problem is high. The pain is frequent, emotionally charged, and tied to professional reputation. What remains uncertain is how consistently this pain appears across different types of planners, such as corporate versus private events. For the Flow Challenge, my initial assumption was that teens and young adults were primarily struggling with motivation. However, in conversations, particularly my interview with Kendall, I learned that motivation was not the real issue. Kendall described feeling overwhelmed not because she lacked desire, but because she lacked structure, stability, and emotional safety during periods of transition. This reframed the problem from lack of drive to burnout and loss of routine. My confidence in this problem is medium to high. The pain is emotionally intense, but it manifests differently depending on life stage and support systems. What remains uncertain is how willing this audience is to commit to structured support without external accountability. For the event planner concept, my target audience is not all event planners. It is specifically independent planners and boutique agencies producing weddings, cultural events, and branding experiences where emotional impact matters. This audience is reachable through Instagram, referrals, and existing creative networks, channels I already operate in. My confidence here is high because I have already successfully initiated the conversations and bookings within this space. For the Flow Challenge, my initial niche is teens and young adults in transitional periods, such as post-graduation, career disruption, or emotional burnout. This audience matters because they experience the pain more intensely and more frequently, and they actively seek support even if informally. My confidence and reachability is medium as trust building is required and outreach takes longer. However, conversations like this one, like the one with Kendall, demonstrate that once trust is established, engagement is deep. The proposed solution is a premium, moment-creating opera performance designed to be emotionally impactful rather than background entertainment. Through discovery, I learned that planners cared deeply about emotional resonance, aesthetic alignment, and performer presence, not just vocal skill. This shifted my positioning away from entertainment and toward a signature experience. My confidence in the solution is high because the response from planners like Michi directly aligned with this framing. The Flow Challenge is a low-pressure, structured support experience built around small, achievable routines and gentle accountability. Kendall responded most strongly to the idea of structure without judgment. She emphasized that consistency felt safer than motivation-based messaging. My confidence in the solution is medium because while the pain is real, long-term engagement behavior still needs validation. My discovery approach followed the mom test principles. I avoided questions like, would you like this? Or would you use this? Do you like this idea? Or hypothetical scenarios. Instead, I focused on past experiences, emotional responses, and real behaviors. In my interview with Michi, He spoke about moments where live performance changed the emotional tone of an event instantly. This reinforced the importance of emotional impact over logistics. With Kendall, the conversation focused on what had not worked in the past, including motivation tools that added pressure instead of relief. Across additional informal conversations, similar patterns emerged. Planners valued emotional payoff, young adults valued stability over inspiration. I'll now outline my strongest and weakest assumptions. For the event planner concept, my strongest assumption is that emotional impact is a primary driver of perceived event success. My riskiest assumption is scalability, although this can grow beyond founder-led delivery. For the Flow Challenge, my strongest assumption is the existence of emotional burnout in this audience. My weakest assumption is retention, whether participants will maintain engagement over time. If this assumption fails, the value proposition would need to pivot toward either shorter experiences or accountability mechanisms. At the start of this sprint, both ideas were intuitive but loosely defined. Through discovery, I did not need to pivot, but I did refine positioning significantly. An alternative for the Flow Challenge could be repositioning it toward educational institutions or facilitated group settings rather than direct to customer. An alternative for the performance concept could be partnering with planners or as a signature add-on rather than a standalone booking. My next steps will focus on testing the most vulnerable assumptions. For event planners, I will test demand consistently across different event types. For the Flow Challenge, I will test what drives commitment and repeat engagement. This sprint taught me how to separate intuition from evidence and how to treat uncertainty as a guide rather than as a failure. Thank you for watching. The link to this video is included on the final slide of my value proposition canvas.
'Cause I've been moving, yeah, I've been moving.